welcome back to the channel. When everything's falling apart, you know, she's emotional, work is on fire, your world feels like it's spinning. The question is, can you stay still? Can you stay still? Not passive, still. And that's the masculine frame, right? That is the actual masculine frame. Yeah. So, like, let's say, like, she's emotional. Let's say things are tough at home. Your wife's fighting with you. She's, well, you guys are fighting. She's arguing with you. Are you still, or are you fighting back? Are you arguing back? Are you shouting? Are you upset? Right? Are you having a logical conversation, or are you just on fire, fighting, arguing? Work is on fire. Like, things are chaotic at work. Some things happen that you've got to now fix. Are you a headless chicken? Are you running around like you don't know what the hell's going on, just shouting, getting upset, commanding people if you're in a leadership role, or just like it's chaos at work, so you've lost your head, you're cool, just like your world feels like it's spinning, right? So that is not a masculine frame, right? So a masculine frame in that situation should be calm, collected, able to navigate with logic, logical thinking, and not necessarily emotional thinking, in a sense. Like, obviously, emotion, you don't cut off your emotions, but you lead through your presence. You don't react, and you respond. You don't react, you respond. You don't spiral out of control. You keep everything calm. Like, while everyone else is running around and it's chaotic, you're calm. You handle it. It's what you need to handle, right? So let's before we go, let's define what this is. What I think. What is a masculine frame? Right. What is the goal that I'm trying to achieve here? So a masculine frame. I'm far from achieving this, by the way, gents. I'm still on the path for this. I'm better than what I was. I'll say that. I'm way better. I'm a lot further on than where I was, but it's still very much, I'm getting my masculine frame. So a masculine frame. What is a masculine frame? So it's grounded presence, right? You're grounded. You're calm. Like, you don't react to things. You respond. Right? You respond. You have a time to think and respond. You don't just automatically react to everything in your life. So it's this internal stillness, right? So you're not chaotic inside. You don't know what's happening inside of you. Like, not fighting, right? It's stillness. It's like being meek. Let's put it that way. Being meek, and meek does not equal weak. That's a very wrong thought process, or that's the wrong definition of meek. Meek is being the most dangerous person you can be, but choosing not to do anything. So it's essentially, if you've, like, I've got the sword, I can use the sword, but I don't use the sword, essentially, right? So that is essentially what I'm saying about what when I say grounded presence, internal stillness. It's like, you're capable of doing everything, therefore you don't have to do it. You can choose not to. You're grounded. Your nervous system is not running your body. And it's not about controlling others. That's another thing, right? The masculine frame is not about controlling others. It's about self-control, self-regulation, self-control. Yeah. How do you hold yourself? Not how to manage everything around you, essentially. Like, I did say a bit, but not to manage people around you or things around you. It's how to manage yourself and your response to those things. So let's get, so stillness. Let's jump into stillness. why is stillness in chaos a masculine power? So when everything's going to shit around you, why is stillness a masculine power? So I presume everyone knows the obviously my line of work, or like my channel, I've come across this. You got the manosphere, manoswamp, that some people call it. Some call it the abomination. I don't know. I don't know much about it. I don't go into these things, but I know. Oh, red pill and this pill and some things I like, which is can be considered red pill, but I'm not going into that. But something that they always say is, which I find 100% correct. They call it the shit test. So essentially, women test for emotionally. They will, let's say, women will emotionally test you, right? They will test you. You know, whether it's conscious or not is debatable, but the woman will test it. They will test your masculine frame. They will test your boundaries. They will test it and see, are you able to stand up in for your boundary, or can they just walk all over you, right? So that's, having stillness emotionally is like, women can test it, but you hold your ground, right? But not necessarily, you don't. It's not blaming them. It's not fighting with them. But you can hold your boundaries, hold your ground. Leadership roles also demand the stillness under pressure. You need to be able to be calm. Everyone else has lost their minds. Everything's going bad. It's just chaotic. As a leader, you need to be able to sit there calm, have presence, look at what's happening, and decide what is the best course of action without reacting to it. You're not reacting to it. You are deciding. Like, okay, well, that needs to be done. You go do that. This needs to be done. You go do that. I will do this quickly. You have leadership, right? Your presence is there. You're not chaotic. You haven't emotionally gone crazy. Kids, clients, teams look to you, right? All of them, like in all those situations, they look to you for the leadership. They look to you. Are you calm? Can I trust you to handle this? Can I like trust you to handle whatever is happening? Or are you cracked? Are you falling? Are you caving under the pressure? Are you essentially. And then emotional reactivity is a signal of instability. Again, not strength. So when I was, again, emotional reactivity, reacting to everything in your life, does not communicate strength, does not communicate reliability, does not communicate capability. What that does is it communicates you're not strong, you cannot hold under pressure, you're unstable, sorry, what's the word? Not unstable, you're not reliable. There we go. So that's the word. You're not reliable. Right? I can't trust you to hold the weight, to lead us to whatever it is, right? It doesn't show that, emotional activity doesn't show strength. It shows weakness, in my opinion. And I remember, I'm not saying being in your emotions. I'm saying emotional reactivity. Please just don't comment that it's to block off your emotions. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about blocking off your emotions. It's about, you need to be able to identify your emotion. Stop, pause, breathe. Identify the emotion you're feeling, and instead of reacting to it, you respond, you decide, you think, okay, well, that's what I'm feeling, but that does not dictate what I do, right? But you do acknowledge your feeling. And how do you know if you've lost your frame? So this one is quite funny, guys. Sorry. Like, these are all things I used to do and still do now. Not all of them, but a lot of them I still do. I'm working on these things, right? So you argue emotionally, not logically. I pretty much did that as well. If I did get into arguments or fights with with my wife or something, it was I eventually argued from an emotional place. You know, it was just emotional reactivity. I reacted to it. She said something, it was a bit too close to the truth or too close to home. Boom, I exploded. I didn't pause, think, respond. I just, I would like, be passive aggressive or like blameful. Another one is you try to fix her or fix or control her emotions instead of holding space, right? You need to be the rock. You need to be an anchor. That she is the ship. So in the storm, you need to be an anchor. You need to hold your space. Hold out against her emotional tests, emotional outbursts, or whatever. She needs to know she is safe, that she can experience these emotional shifts or emotional explosions in a sense within reason, and know you're not gonna fold. You're not gonna be walked over. Like you're strong enough to hold your space, right? Tied into that, tied into that, you get sucked into panic. So you can look at it. It is like she has her emotional outburst. You get sucked into either panic, you become sarcastic, you shut down, or you blow up, right? So these tie into it. But these are all signs you've lost your frame. When you blow up, when you disengage or shut down, when you become passive aggressive, sarcastic, uh, even if you start like getting a bit panicky at the situation. I've done this massively, and I still do this, and sometimes I will just blow up. I will just shut down quite a bit. I've done that. Not so much the panic. I have become sarcastic, but I don't know, sarcastic. Yeah, I do become sarcastic. And another one you do that we've all probably done as hidden men or nice guys, or whatever. You prioritize being liked over standing firm. Hi, that's me. I do this. I still do this to this day, actually. I was taking inventory yesterday, and I actually still do this quite a bit. I have noticed. It's creeping back, well, not creeping back in, but I got to double back onto this one. Is you prioritize being liked over standing firm. Um, so in our relationship, I have, instead of standing firm on something, I have decided rather it's like, well, I don't want to be the bad guy here, so I will step back on this, right? And instead of actually just standing firm to what I actually believe or do. So this is a key insight. So working on that again. And then how do you actually build stillness? Like this one is I'm working to build this frame, right? I'm working to build frame. These are deep things I'm going into, eventually. So I do some of these. Again, practice the pausing before speaking. Like I'm getting into the habit of, before I react, I pause, breathe, think of a response, think how I can respond instead of just reacting. Deep breathing, right? Like when you, especially in the conflict, especially in while you're having this discussion, this argument, or the conflict that you're having. Deep breathing. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Just calmly breathe it. Try ground yourself. Think of yourself as growing roots out of your feet. I don't know how. Yeah, I could think of it something like that. Like I'm grounding myself. I'm becoming grounded. I have to remind myself, like you're becoming grounded. Um. So like what is grounding? Some grounding rituals you can do, right? So I have the breathing, and then I say like yeah, like I imagine the roots growing out of my feet, grounding me, calming me, as well while I'm breathing. I can do that. Then there's like, obviously there's the cold showers. There's stillness, just sitting in quiet stillness. Breath work, well, mindful practices. Let's say mindful practice. That's stillness, right? Breath work, right? You can do the breathing. There's Wim Hof has got a good breathing method. Box breathing, those are pretty good. There's some other ones. Prayer, I do prayer as well, right? These help ground you. Help you can also, as I said, thankfulness, gratitude, like working on these things will help ground you. And you want to detach from, so in order to build stillness, you want to detach from needing control, right? You need, most of us have control freak tendencies, especially in our relationships, right? Like we want to detach from needing the control. The more you try to control your partner is more, was actually directly related to how much out of control your own life feels. So the more out of control your own life feels, the more you feel that you need to control your partner. If you understand what I mean, which is hell of insightful. I might actually do a video about that because that was quite like eye-opening. But yeah, so you need to detach from needing control. You need to lead from clarity, not chaos, right? So you need to become clear in what you want, what's happening, and how to navigate that, not chaos. As I said, the more chaos you have, the more you try to control your partner. And stillness is not just a note here. Stillness is not silence. Again, stillness is not silence. Stillness is a stable direction. Stillness is having, I know where I'm going, I know what needs to be done to get there, and I'm going there. It's not being silent. It's about going, okay, well, these are the standards, these are the boundaries, this is the direction, I'm going this way. There we go. It's just saying, it's about a stable direction. And instead of, because you know where you want to go, you know who you want to become, so stop exploding at the slightest of things or panicking, right? So the world, I'm saying a lot of so today, but anyway, the world doesn't need more controlling men, right? We have a lot of controlling men in the world at the moment. So again, it needs still ones, right? It needs ones with stillness. What do I mean? It needs calm in the storm, right? Men who are calm in storms. They are centered under fire, pressure. Just they are centered. That is the masculine frame. Right? There's more into it, but that is essentially my overview of the masculine frame, right? So, challenge for you guys. Next time things get heated, don't react. Right? That's it. Don't react. Don't fix it. Just hold. Just hold. Just hold your frame. Just hold yourself. Breathe, grounded. Talk calmly. Talk, however, handle it calmly. Don't fold under the pressure. Like if you said no to something, don't fold. Just hold it. You don't need to react. You don't need to fix the situation. Just hold it. Hold it for some time. It will pass. Very difficult, but you can start with something small. Thanks for joining, guys. Like, comment down below. What is that one thing, if you're comfortable, what is that one thing that you're going to start building stillness in, right? This week. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.